part of the team. So 2 can be category A, 1 has to be category B, at least 1 has to be category B. So what we do have is matchups between category A and B, and as we go through the actual event, and as we go through the 9 matches that we've makes up the whole event, then what will happen is we will have different tactics that will be displayed, and we'll point those out to you as we go. The order of the fences as well, very important. It goes in 5-point increments, and there are 9 bouts, and the 9 bouts, although we've got a 3-minute time limit up there, in foil it doesn't hardly ever goes anywhere near the 3 minutes, so it's over very, very quickly. It's very explosive. The foil coloured part of the jacket there, that's the target, front and back, and sometimes some of the shots, the flick shots, go over the back there and still register. So nothing else will register.
Well, the foil blade so malleable, so light, that a flick quite easy to perform, unlike the épée, where it's a much less frequently used move.
Yeah, it weighs about a pound or just under half a kilo for some of the younger ones. So just measuring up now the distance, and the distance between the fencers is always measured the one with the shortest reach. But the referee's behind there, just making sure that they're posturing so that they're not leaning forwards or backwards in order to get a false reading there. So they're very strict on it. And we're just about ready to go here in this bronze medal match.
Well, the first matchup, CHEONG of Hong Kong, TOKATLIAN of France. They test their weapons against each other's foil jackets, and then the protocol of saluting the referees, the crowd, and ultimately each other. Mask comes on and you can see the clock set, as you mentioned. The referee will be sat on the edge of his seat quite literally, as he has to make some tough calls in these tense environments. And straight away the yellow card has come out, and that's because TOKATLIAN was just a little bit too quick off the mark and tried to initiate his attack before the match had even been called to start.
Yeah, and two of those yellow cards will be a point against. So every point here is hotly contested. It really is, and every point counts. First point up to CHEONG of Hong Kong. Like I say, it's 5-point increments, and there's a yellow card there up to CHEONG as well. So say, for example, TOKATLIAN goes 5 points up, then the next people come on to the piste, and they have a chance then to catch up the deficit, because the next bout will be up to 10 points. Oh, close this. TOKATLIAN pulls a point back. He's wily, isn't he, TOKATLIAN? Very experienced. Every trick in the book.
the lean coming from TOKATLIAN, closing the distance as much as he can.
Yeah, they've got to make sure that the backside doesn't come off the wheelchair. Not, well, they can keep one buttock, I think, in contact with, but, and there are judges that will make sure that they do that. TOKATLIAN gets the second point. Well, you can see the movement that they've got, and well, just to give you an idea, the B category wouldn't be able to come out that far, but we had one that actually just that fell out the chair because just committed too much.
Well, they can lose balance after the hit has been scored, but if, as you mentioned, too much of the body, more than 50% of the derriere has left the chair, then a card would be produced. The first instance, a yellow card, as we can see, both athletes have already been awarded a yellow. Whatever it's for, the next card, the next offence is always a red.
But the yellow cards after the 5 points, they won't count anymore. That it's a brand new match starts. Well, that was a very important 5 points there, wasn't it, for the very experienced Damien TOKATLIAN. Takes France 5-1 into the lead. Well, it's a good start for France.
Well, the masters had to be put back on for the result to be confirmed. CHEONG Menchai just getting one touch to Damien TOKATLIAN's 5. Well, that is the opening score for the overall teams. The first bout, a team always love to get that advantage, taking the pressure off them and putting it onto their opponents, as the next two fencers will come onto the piste.
Well, the other two are on the piste, and Shan Wen Kin of Hong Kong against Maxime VALET. Just having a little chat there together just before this all kicks off. So actually just to test the equipment, just to make sure that the end of the foil is working correctly and that they've got a good connection.
Well, this weapon, the name of it is a bit of a giveaway with the foil jackets. The only area to score a point on the torso. And that includes the bottom part of the bib of the fencing mask. You can see it's got that foil covering. Both were checked at the start of this bout.
Yeah, well, he just wants another check there. He's not quite sure. He thinks he connected, and it didn't connect how he wanted it to connect. So it might be another foil. They all have to have spares. Had a little bit of a problem, haven't we, with the electrical equipment?
Well, it is finely tuned, and as soon as there's one problem in the circuit, it'll show up. But the problem is you never know exactly where the difficulty is, where the circuit is faulting, and it's only by process of elimination, and where there's so many connections, so many wires, starting with the tip of the foil, the socket where the body wire plugs in, that's just behind the guard. You'll see some of them as they're preparing, just plugging in. Then there's the cables, just seeing there, that connect the jackets to the mask, making sure that the mask is actually all part of that circuit of the scoring area, just the metallic bib of the mask, obviously. Body wire attaches to the spool, to the ground lead, and then eventually into the box. And that happens on either side respectively.
And now there seems to be a little bit of a problem with Valet's. So they'll have to check him out now. Well, it's never a nice place to be when you're just waiting to get on with things, and you've just got to wait.
Well, we have seen quite a few halts in proceedings today with the team relay and the foil weapon. But the athletes in these situations will be relaxed because it's nothing to do, well, it's not their issue right now. It looks as though the equipment failing could be that of the competition organisers. So the best method in these situations is just to switch off, but be ready to switch back into competition mode as soon as the problem is solved. Conserving not just physical energy in these situations, but really importantly, that emotional and mental energy.
Yeah, well, it is, isn't it? It is emotional and takes a lot of, which is why, of course, when you are straight back into action, sometimes you can be struggling for breath. Heart rate goes up, and doesn't necessarily mean that your condition's not that good, but it's a lot of nervous energy as well. Well, I guess this is one of the difficulties when you've got electrical circuits that are required as part of the equipment, and if you get a problem with an electrical circuit, then you've got to have the electricians in straight away to sort the problem out, and it's a process of elimination. Well, everything seems to be okay now, and if you have a look at the score there, France 6-1 up. And that is quite a tidy little lead. Only the second bout, this one. So one of the points been taken off, so it's 5-1.
Well, such a point to prove. France, after losing their semi-final match, whilst being reigning world champions. This could be seen as a consolation if they can win the bronze.
Well, of course, the difficulty for the referee, well, we had a little knock there, didn't we? Difficulty for the referee is to determine who gets the priority, who actually instigated the movement. So he has a harder job, much harder job in foil. And that's why if you see a double hit, they'll have to decide who who actually had the right of way, who had the priority. Would you say who instigated the technique?
Well, initially, so this is why you have the fences so quick off the mark at the beginning and sometimes seeing the yellow card awarded for starting so fast. And there's a prime example of starting so fast. If it's a direct hit, it'll be the person who actually started the movement first. A direct hit being pretty much an arm extension, getting the point on target. But there are several ways to regain the priority. So beating the blade out the way, waiting for the opponent to retreat, and you are then in charge of the attack, the counter parries, and that's what all the signs from the referee are coming through. But it's very difficult to follow in real time with the naked eye.
Well, and also difficult for the referee to follow as well sometimes, which is why he'll, if need be, he'll have a look at the video referee, the video playback. Two one up in their private battle here, Valet and Shan. But it's team tournament, and so it's the overall team there, and you can see it's 7-2 to France.
Well, there, the attack initiated from the right, a hit onto the opponent on the left, and then the referee awards the point to Valet. One point away from concluding this bout. Chan winking, getting a little momentum. 3 points now to Valet's 4. The Frenchman just wanting one more point to end the bout. And there's the cable that connects the mask, making it part of the target area.
So Valet will want to get the 10 here, going 6 ahead to the next bout. And Sham Wing Kim will be doing the opposite. He'll want to get that score down.
Well, he's doing a good job. Equal on points now, 4 apiece for Chan against Valet. Valet has stayed just so close to that necessary 10. He's just stuck 1 point off. Chan creeping closer.
Yeah, really doing well here, isn't he, Shan, and pulling Hong Kong back into this. Isn't it amazing how it just changes?
It really does turn around so quickly. But each of these 3 fencers in each team will have to fence 3 in the other, and we'll expect to see many changes in momentum, and quite possibly in the lead order. And at the moment, Hong Kong are looking threatening towards that lead that France had. They had a lead of 4 points at the start of this bout. And now it's down to just 1.
So 9 No, 9 each. Wow, didn't he do well then? Now he's put Hong Kong into the lead.
Well, that wasn't too an impressive opener for Maxime VALET. But it was France choosing to put their category B fencer on early. So we'll expect to see a change in lead, quite possibly, when Hong Kong, China put forward their category B fencer, and that will be in the next bout. Well, the appeal has meant that point taken off, and still VALET has chance to put France back in the lead.
Well, now it's confirmed again, and Chan Wing-kin puts Hong Kong 1 point ahead, and that was a great comeback from him.
A lot of flicks. You can see Chan there taking the priority with the beat of the blade and then finishing the touch on the body. So change of lead, Hong Kong, China lead France 10 points to 9. Bout number 3, TAM Chik Sum, a category B fencer, up next for Hong Kong against Ludovic LEMOINE, category A for France. So if that last bout was a mismatch, in theory, this one will be too.
Yeah, this is where France and Ludovic LEMOINE will be trying to pick up points.
Already his first point on this in this match, his first point of his first bout, and Ludovic LEMOINE has asked for the video replay.
Well, we said that every point is competitive and every one so important. 45 is what they're aiming for over the 9 bouts.
Well, if the challenge is unsuccessful, Hong Kong will have a lead of 2 points. This is the first appearance of 3 for TAM Chik Sum and Ludovic LEMOINE in this bronze medal match. And the referee stuck by his original decision.
Aggressive fencing from LEMOINE, and he gets a point back.
bringing it back to 11-all. This, the chance for France to regain that lead. Anytime a category A fencer comes up a category B, that's a chance for that team to make up for any points they might have lost or extend a lead that they might already have.
Well, this match is up to 15. So that's what they're both teams and both fencers are aiming for. Well, here's your example of referee wanting to see this in slow motion.
Well, he has that advantage. Chance to watch it 4 times when he chooses to, if necessary. Also, you can confer with the video analyzer. There'll be a fellow qualified referee.
So now 13 to France, 13-11. And LEMOINE will want to take this to 15 to give them a big, and he's one off it. Well, he's brought a couple of points back. TAM Chik Sum. Just off target. Wasn't quite on 2 white lights. Yeah, and that's it. It's 15 to France now.
TAM Chik Sum managing 3 to Ludovic LEMOINE 6. It was limitation of the damage for Hong Kong. They came into this bout with a 1-point lead, but they knew it would be tough with a category B against category A. So now, after the first third, when all 3 fencers from either team have made an appearance, there's only 2 points separating these 2 teams in this bronze medal match. Bout number 4. See CHEONG Meng come onto the piste against Maxime VALET. Everything must be working precisely. Nothing left to chance at these Paralympic Games. CHEONG Meng the first point between these 2 fencers. But interestingly, France have their category B fencer back on already. Maxime VALET actually was a fencer before the accident that put him in a wheelchair. So someone who took up the sport and returned to the sport as a Paralympian.
Part of that team, that world-winning team. But never competed in Paralympic Games, so he'll want this medal, that's for sure.
So close. In the first third of this bronze medal match, and France might have hoped to have a little bit more dominance early on. Very quick by Valet, but not getting it on target.
No, just missing out every time. Well, now 2 ahead. CHEONG Meng 4-0 up against Valet. Well, he just started a little bit before the alley.
Well, this is a real example of how things change around and how the order that the fences come on can make so much difference, because a deficit can really be turned around when you have category B against category A, and that's what we're seeing right here. Maxime Valet not able to hold his own or even maintain the lead that he started this bout with, compared to CHEONG Meng.
Yeah.
CHEONG now just 2 points away from sealing this bout.
Yeah, you can see it, can't you? Just the movement, but that was that a point? He just can't, he hasn't got the same kind of movement in the chair, and it does make a difference. CHEONG Meng taking advantage of it. So 1 point away now from winning this bout. We thought that was all over, but it's not.
So close. Valet adding a second point, doubling his individual score. CHEONG Meng still dominating though with his 6 hits to 2. And he got there, just giving 1 more point to France. So 7 points to 2, CHEONG over Valet. And that now puts Hong Kong, China 3 points back in the lead.
Confirmation, Hong Kong, China, 20 points, and France, 17. Next up, TAM Chik Sum against Damien TOKATLIAN.
TAM Chik Sum will be aware of the advantage he has over Damien TOKATLIAN with the points. Those 3 points that he has as a lead could be vital if he's going to maintain Hong Kong on the top at the moment, because he, in category B, and up against the very experienced TOKATLIAN. TOKATLIAN finished 7th in the category A individual foil, whereas TAM Chik Sum, not only a category B fencer, but also specialising more in épée and sabre, so the 2 other of the 3 weapons used in fencing. So on paper, as we've mentioned a few times, France in this situation should be the stronger in this bout. But France also, on paper, should have won their semi-final match as reigning world champions, and now they are finding themselves behind Hong Kong in this bronze medal match.
Yeah, it doesn't always go according to plan, does it? Can TOKATLIAN pull this back? There's 1 point.
Well, it'll be the first to 25. TOKATLIAN will be fully aware of his job here, and that will be to not only reach 25 before TAM, but to try and limit the amount of hits that TAM can score. Straight away, TOKATLIAN questioning the referee's decision, asking for review.
Bah oui, je reprends le fer.
TOKATLIAN thinks it was his point. I was going to say he has to accept, doesn't he? Because otherwise he'd be there all day, wouldn't he?
TOKATLIAN will be expecting to get more points than TAM by some considerable margin. He'll need to if he's going to put France back in the lead. TAM asking to check the connection from TOKATLIAN's jacket.
That's going to bring France to within 1 point.
Remise from the left. TAM adding another point. TOKATLIAN reacting. Trailing 1 point again. And now, for the first time in this bout, Hong Kong are equal with France at 22 apiece. But TAM having another hit on target, the category B fencer. And this seems to be 1 apiece as TOKATLIAN reacts quickly. 23 apiece again. 2 away from winning this bout. Who is going to get there first? It's a race now to 25 points. And so fast off the mark. France, 1 point away. A shake of the head by the 44-year-old Frenchman. Just whipping inside the jacket, inside the foil jacket by Tam. The attack from the right, point confirmed.
A lot of contact, but not on target. Well, this really is back and forth, isn't it?
So close. Both fencers desperate to get 25 on their score side, and it's Hong Kong, China, who think they've got the point, but TOKATLIAN won't risk anything. He wants to check. He's asking the referee just to check the tip of his foil. It's working. He doesn't understand, but he understands he has to shake the hand. The referee's decision's final, and that was not what France were hoping for. TOKATLIAN 7 points to TAM's 5, but Hong Kong, having just put their category B fencer on, are still leading, even if it is by such a slim margin.
Yeah, like you said, just not what they wanted. They wanted points here. They wanted a points differential. So you can see it there, just 1 point in it.
We move on to about 6. Chan winking. And up again. Ludovic, LEMOINE.
A bit more, a bit. No, back, a bit.
Chan winking.
Okay.
Foilist and épée fencer. Competed in both those individual events. Just missing out on the quarterfinals though, finishing 9th in both of them. LEMOINE only managing to compete in the individual sabre, but did actually progress into those quarterfinals.
Well, for those that have just joined us, this is the bronze medal match, and there is the Mexican wave going round Karaoke 3, and just a little bit of disturbance for the fencers. They're on now about 6, and they're going up to 30 now. It's the first one up to 30 on the board.
Attack. Push. 1. En garde. Prêt. Allez. Attaque en fer. Push. 1.
Well, this match really is proving to be far closer
Prêt. Allez.
than many might have expected.
Attaque. Voilà. En garde. Prêt. Allez.
Movement back and forth of the platform along the piste.
Yeah, they get so much movement in the wheelchair, and although they're stuck and bolted to the floor, the piste, they slide along the piste. Such is the momentum.
Both fencers celebrating simultaneously after the simultaneous hit, but only one fencer can be awarded the point. Well, we'll wait to see how the referee analyses that. And it is Chan who had the priority in that situation. So Hong Kong trying to back up to a 1-point lead over, a 2-point lead over France. Chan leads LEMOINE 2-1.
Well, this is a close match. It really is. Just checking there to see if his foil was connected.
Really does seem to be going point to the left, point to the right. Not only the points of the foil, but the points on the scoreboard now. Chan, with 2 victories in a row, suddenly puts Hong Kong just 1 away from finishing this bout, the first to 30 in bout number 6. Not allowed. The crowd getting behind this bronze medal match. Both fencers trying desperately to get that priority, get their point onto the target, onto the foil lame of their opponents. LEMOINE, 3 points in this bout, but he's still trailing the overall score. China have by 2, and they are so close to rounding up this bout. 1 more needed by Chan. He's got 4 points so far. He needs that total of 5. LEMOINE, however, will need a total of 6 if he's going to put France back in front.
Well, what a close match. So now one point off, equalising, and Hong Kong, China, 1 point off finishing this bout. Well, again, now asking for a review. So I'll go to the video review. Chan Wen King thinks it was his. So it failed, and so he won't be able to do another, and he'd do one more. He has one more, but one of them is used up now. So either one of these now could go to the 30 mark and take their team into a lead, and it's LEMOINE that gets it. So he'll be so happy about that, because it was going away from him.
Well, there were quite a few tense moments throughout that bout. Chan Wing-kin looked to really have control over Ludovic Nawan. But that crucial final green light sealed it for France. Now, France back in the lead by just 1 point. The first to 45. We are 2/3 of the way to deciding whether Hong Kong or France will pick up Paralympic team bronze.
Just how important are these last two matches?
Incredibly important. The order that the fences come on in will affect the score, no doubt. These orders have already been put in, so it's not the teams choosing as they go along. Maxime VALET testing the foil bib of TAM Chik Sum. And this, a relatively even match on paper, both fences, category B. After this, there'll be 2 matches remaining. To category A from either team contest the opponent they've yet to fence, and I think that was a bit quick off the mark, and VALET knew before the referee even reached for his pocket.
Yeah, yellow card. Quite on the 8 of Ali, but just a little bit quicker. Well, now with these last 3 matches, it starts to get very interesting. So this is up to 35. TAM will need 6 points to get up to 35, and VALET needs 4.
Allez, Maxou, allez, hein.
You can hear the foil blade whipping through the air. It's that fast. I think we're going to see quite a few reviews still to come. VALET asking, but I think content with the answer that he was given by the
decided
referee.
against it, didn't he?
France don't want to give away any points at this late stage. The final time on the piste for TAM and VALET, and after this they will just have to sit back and see what their teammates can do. This proving to be just so close the whole way through. We saw the early lead for France, lost it bout number 2 to Hong Kong, got it back in bout number 3, lost it again for the next 2 bouts, and then that final bout we just saw, they regained it. So the lead really changing every bout or every other bout, and with this 3 from the end, we can expect to see plenty more excitement. And VALET this time saying, I don't understand how that was not my point. And the referee using the ability to have another watch from varying angles. Well, that was a worthwhile appeal by the Frenchman. Point awarded as a result You can see why the fencers, when they're so sure, why they wouldn't ask. You can hear the contact. The point of the foil on their opponent.
Like you say, you can hear the whipping action as well. And they were almost stuck in there. That was 35 now to France. They're 5 ahead.
Well, things starting to go the way of the French. And that bout did considerably turn things around. The hands have been shaken by the fencers, but they're asked to remain in position until it is concluded. Patiently waiting. And the mask just had to go back on as part of protocol. And the referee awards that 5th and final point to Maxime VALET. 5 victories to TAM Chik Sum's 1. A significant moment in this match for France. Just catching guards at the end of the bout. TOKATLIAN really getting excited. He will be the final fencer on for France, so we'll be pleased to see that lead opening up. France with 35 points. Hong Kong now trailing by 5. CHEONG Meng up in the penultimate bout against Ludovic LEMOINE.
Yeah, TOKATLIAN was celebrating there because obviously the bigger the lead that he has in that last bout, then the bigger the advantage. But it is team, isn't it? It's all about team effort. This important for the individual and the individual bouts, but the team, overall team, and that magic number of 45 is what they're after.
That is the ultimate goal in any team relay match. And that goal just becomes even more yearned for when medals are at stake. This is the match to decide who wins the bronze medal in this men's foil team competition. The penultimate match. CHEONG Meng for Hong Kong, China. Ludovic LEMOINE for France. Evenly matched by categories. Just 2 bouts remain. And a great start for LEMOINE.
Well, how quick was that? That was just like lightning. And again.
Well, now the reigning world champions in this team event could be starting to show some of their pedigree. CHEONG Meng not going to be intimidated by their status as world champions. He has got his eye on the bronze medal just as much as LEMOINE.
Well, both of them claiming the point. They might just have to make a small adjustment on that platform right now And I think that's what LEMOINE is asking for. Referee just wants to get on with it.
Well, LEMOINE will just be wanting to get on with the points. 3 away from ending this penultimate bout.
Yeah, and all of a sudden something wrong with the point again.
Well, the cable just unplugging from the jackets of CHEONG, and therefore when LEMOINE's foil point, foil tip made contact, nothing happened on the scoreboard.
Step closer again, 38. 2 off winning this bout. 3-2 to LEMOINE. In their personal match, CHEONG Meng needs to pick up points. Oh, he gets it. What a point to get. 39 points now to France. What a very quick response there from CHEONG. So takes France now just to 5 points of the bronze medal. 5-3. He won his match against CHEONG Meng, but he takes France, which is the most important thing, into 7-point lead. Can't celebrate yet.
Well, the French fans were treated to watching their team on top of the podium in the men's épée team event. And now Chan Wing-kin will have some work to do if he's going to beat this man, Damien TOKATLIAN, because it isn't just an individual bout to 5. TOKATLIAN needs just the 5 touches, whereas Chan Wing-kin will need not only the 5, but add to that the 7 that he trails by, that his team trail by. 12 points to TOKATLIAN's 5. It's doable. We've seen comebacks like this throughout these relays, but France do have their most experienced fencer on the piste right now.
Yeah, it's a tall order, isn't it, for Hong Kong? But as you said, we've seen some remarkable recoverers. Right the way out of his chair there, TOKATLIAN.
TOKATLIAN with a cushion still, but he won't want to let that slip away. And soon getting his first point on will help him stay relaxed.
And another one back there from Chan.
Chan Winkin is not going to make this easy for TOKATLIAN, but certainly France must be thinking this is ours.
Wow, that was very, very quick, wasn't it?
Well, all the French could do is sit and watch and hope that their fencer, Damien TOKATLIAN, in his 44 years of wisdom, can maintain the calm. But Chan Winking, already with a Paralympic bronze medal from 4 years ago, is showing his experience at this level. And now Hong Kong are 3 points away from France. TOKATLIAN pulling it out the bag at this crucial moment.
Yeah, TOKATLIAN, 3 points, that's what he needs. So exciting stuff here. We got a fight back here from Chan Win-King. And they're going to have to just quick readjustment of the platform again. Bit of a pity that, because the momentum was starting to really build.
Well, this is turning into such an exciting finale to the bronze medal match.
Oh, he gets another one back. Now he's on 40.
The French supporters must be sitting on the edge of their seats. It looks like a comfortable margin for TOKATLIAN. And he gets 1 point closer. 2 away from securing the bronze for his team. Chan now 5 away, but only 3 behind France. And this card being held up to the French fencer. He cannot afford another penalty. It would equate to a point to Hong Kong. TOKATLIAN already with 1 warning.
Well, no pressure on TOKATLIAN. Not much. The experience now will see it kick in, because he needs 2 points here to win the bronze medal for France.
The parry riposte had come from Chan, and therefore TOKATLIAN had lost his priority that he'd initiated, he got from initiating the attack. But he didn't agree with the opinion of the referee. The French desperate for 2 more points. Hong Kong, China hoping that Chan Winking can get 5 points over his opponent before TOKATLIAN can get 2. It's come down to such a fine margin. This final bout looked as though it could almost have been a foregone conclusion. It is anything but right now. Well, the scores remain.
So close with those, really.
Chan thought he was on target, checking his points. And it's going to be a red card. This is so costly for France. And Hong Kong, China now 2 points away from equalising in this final bout. TOKATLIAN making up for that point he just gave away with the mistake. Now France 1 point off the bronze medal. Chan Winkin with quite a challenge on his hands, but he has an 8-4 point lead on the individual standings. Now, was that before or after the halt?
Well, he's going to have to go again.
And it's another red card. And another point to Chan. Chan, 9 points. He needs 3 more. TOKATLIAN, 4 so far in this bout. Just after 1 more point. TOKATLIAN just getting a little too eager. And the referee out of his chair. He is checking everything. He knows how he cannot afford to make any mistakes. This is nail-biting stuff.
It really is, isn't it? It's just so close. They went for experience with TOKATLIAN.
The suspense waiting game.
Wow, you can cut that with a knife, can't you? You really can.
Damien TOKATLIAN has made 2 mistakes. He has given 2 points away already.
He's gonna have to go again.
And it's another premature start, and this is going to be so traumatic. Chan of Hong Kong now only 2 points away from sealing the bronze medal. TOKATLIAN 1 point away. It really is incredibly tense. It could be 1 point that decides this bronze medal. It could be this next point. The referee not willing to announce any point lightly. Could this be the final decider? Who had that priority?
Wow, this is just so close up.
And France had the priority. France now have the bronze medal. Damien TOKATLIAN, he gave away a few too many points for his liking with those red cards, but he sealed it finally. So close for France. But they are now celebrating the bronze medal. Hong Kong, China will be runners-up in this semi-final.
Well, that was absolutely amazing, and well, it doesn't get closer than that. I don't know how many times I've said it, but it just keeps going to the wire every time. And the French celebrate. We saw it yesterday with the French, and they've done it again. They've stolen another one, and well, to say stolen is perhaps not the right word, but you know, they battled all the way. It was a really fine line, and they just managed to get it ahead of Hong Kong. TOKATLIAN just kept his cool in the end. France win the bronze medal.
Well, a party atmosphere in the Carioca Arena 3 for the French, and that's going to be led by Damien TOKATLIAN. He really had everybody on the edge of his seat. A victory by 2 points, but nobody will remember